This video focuses on the co-teaching part of the Studio Day, which is a job-embedded professional development. This sample schedule shows 2 rounds of co-teaching during the day. The teacher hosting the Studio Day leads both rounds. Her colleagues each observe 1 or 2 groups of students and co-teach in whole group and small group when appropriate. In this lesson, students are creating models of past, present, and future conditions to explain why Pacific Islands appear to be sinking, based on evidence from lab experiences they have had prior to this lesson. This following clip shows the teacher introducing the Studio Day lesson to her class, and then a small sample of the kind of work students were engaged in with this co-teach lesson that the teachers observed.
So we spent some time in the computer lab talking about and learning about the greenhouse effect and really how these molecules interact with that heat energy. And so coming away from that activity, I was wondering if you felt like the greenhouse effect was a good thing or a bad thing. And something that I learned when I went around reading your warm-up task is that a lot of you talked about it being good, and a lot of you talked about being bad. So let me hear some ideas if you want to share out. Why do you think the greenhouse effect is bad? Who said it was bad? Okay, Junior, why do you say it was bad?
Heat up the earth fast.
It heats up the earth fast. Anybody want to add to that, BJ? BJ? It makes temperatures rise. Anybody else? So there's a key word that I'm picking up on is that it's not only just increasing temperatures, but I'm hearing from you that it's increasing temperatures really fast. Okay, Anthony, you want to add to that?
I feel like it's a little bit of both, because without the greenhouse gases, the earth would freeze, but with a lot of them, the earth would pretty much burn up.
Okay, and I like how you pointed out the difference between the amount of greenhouse gases and how the amount of greenhouse gases makes it good or bad thing. And so we're going to explore that idea just a little bit more today, and you're going to get a chance to put together. We've done a lot of stuff in this past month or so about gathering evidence about why these Pacific Islands are sinking. And so we're going to get a chance today to put that together on...
Nothing has happened to the glacier yet.
Okay, so the glacier's not melting? Why not? Why isn't the glacier melting yet?
Because the sun's heat rays, sun doesn't make heat rays yet.
There's no heat coming from the sun?
This is what you said.
No, I said that the sun isn't what's causing the water. That's what you're saying, that the sun is causing it, and it's not.
One thing the shepherd said is maybe...
Isn't it because it's like CO2? There's not it's not yet.
Since you can draw on this.
What do you think about that? What do you think about what Julissa just said?
I agree with her.
Why?
Because, what would you say?
So nothing's happening yet. Like there's not enough CO2 that's causing it.
Oh, okay.
So you're saying if you draw the difference between these 3 pictures, past, present, and future, what would be one big difference?
The level of the glacier.
At points during the lesson, teachers call for a teacher timeout to reflect on teaching practice and student learning. Timeouts happen when students are still engaged in the task. They continue working as teachers take a few minutes to discuss the student ideas they've heard from each group. Teacher timeouts provide real-time feedback on teaching and learning and provide a unique opportunity for highly responsive teaching moves based on students' science ideas. The focus of a teacher timeout may vary from analyzing teacher moves to sharing student ideas. From this timeout example, teachers share ideas they've heard from each group and decide how to have students share out to the whole class based on their ideas.
We're going to think about what we can bring back to the class because different groups are thinking with different parts of the explanation. What are they all reasoning with? And which groups would you call on to bring out particular ideas right now? There's some ideas that they're all getting. We want some groups to at least be acknowledged for something that like they're all showing the radiation from the sun coming down.
They're the 3rd group I looked at. They're the only group that actually put more CO2 in each picture.
Okay.
Which group? Actually, these guys are doing that too.
Okay, so we have...
This group over here is talking about the difference in the reflection story.
Which the front program?
Yeah, this is
I know the back group is talking about the actual increase of temperature, and they've drawn it in the thermometer.
Yeah, that one.
That back group is also talking about the carbon dioxide molecules like reflecting or like absorbing and reflecting.
Yeah, so they haven't heard that yet. Yeah, and actually these guys were talking about the atmosphere being part of the absorption story as well. So I saw a lot of the groups only had CO2, but that group is the only one that had the molecules.
These guys back there have all of them.
They do, okay. So I didn't check my
That's probably not as important right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm just trying to think about which ones do we start with.
What about this front group? We haven't heard anything about them.
Says that because the glacier disappeared, the sea levels rose.
Yeah, so did this
So
group.
it's covering the island.
Yeah, these guys said the same.
So that's like a piece of the story that they have included.
This group has a good idea about the CO2 increasing, and then also about the reflection of the infrared energy off the CO2.
Off the CO2? Oh, back to, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
The
actually
absorption.
really
They
important.
drew stars on CO2 for that absorption.
Fabulous.
And
Okay,
Interesting.
so that group, and that group have shown that absorption into the greenhouse gases and re-emission.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so that'll be the last idea that we have them share out.
So we want to highlight, this group has talked about what is causing the ocean levels to rise. This group is talking about when the water, when the glaciers melt, that the reflection story is different. So
which group does a nice job with that one?
this group right here,
This group here?
and they're showing it also.
Good, because our group is struggling with that.
Okay, so good.
That would be a good
And
one
then
to
that
share.
group is talking about what again?
CO2 increases.
CO2 increase.
And we,
Don't have much time, man.
yeah, so we can have them think about also what they would add. So we could do a quick just-in-time checklist about, or have them star on their checklists what they don't have yet. So some of them don't have CO2, some of them don't have the bouncing back. I don't know. Just let's try and help them reflect on what each other is saying.
Okay.
During this timeout, teachers decided how to share the ideas from small groups in a whole group conversation so that all students could hear key parts of the whole explanation. Next, the host teacher continues the lesson and coordinates which groups share out to focus the class on these key explanatory ideas, asking students to add or change their models. This next clip shows the part of the lesson following the teacher timeout.
You guys have a really great start on showing your ideas on your posters, and what I want to do is highlight what you do have to the rest of the class so that the groups that are kind of struggling or are missing some pieces can think about how to add that into their poster. Okay, so I want to show this group. Okay, can you put up your poster, and I need all eyes over here.
Your pictures to see if you have an idea, and if you don't have it, add a little note that you need to add it.
Go ahead.
The ocean levels are rising because the glaciers and the southern ice caps are melting because they're absorbing and getting a lot of sunlight, and so when they melt, they add more water, and that causes the islands to sink.
All right. So first, you, as a group, check to see if you are explaining that piece of the story. Where is the water level coming from? And if you don't have that, you need to, again, do a quick little jot down. We need to include this piece of information. Thank you. I want to bring your group, show your group, and talk about all the things that you drew in your atmosphere. Okay? So can you stand up?
The teacher continues to have each group share briefly about the particular part of the explanation they featured in their model. Teacher timeouts are a key part of the co-teach. This kind of on-the-spot analysis of student learning is impossible in traditional professional development arrangements and creates a teaching environment that is responsive to student science ideas. After co-teaching this lesson, teachers spend time reviewing footage teachers filmed during class and looking more in depth at student work to decide on next steps. For more information about the Studio Day model for professional development and other ambitious science teaching practices, please visit our website at toolsforteachingscience.org.